guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at JaniesSweets. Welcome back to another Friday Fixes episode where you ask me your cake questions and I do my best to answer them for you. Today's episode is going to be talking about pickup and delivery. Some of you guys wanted to know how I do that, who picks up, who do I deliver to, do I have a threshold, how much do I charge, etc, etc. So I'm going to be talking about that. But more importantly, what I want to focus on is safety. If you are conducting a home-based bakery, if people are gonna come to your house, it is so important for you to be safe. There are weirdos out there, you guys, and you don't want any random Joe Schmo knowing where you live because you never know what people are thinking. So we're gonna talk about two things: what I do for pickup and delivery, and also how to stay safe when customers are picking up cakes from you. Honestly, before I had children, I never actually given much thought on that. Like, I was kind of YOLOing letting random people coming to my house, but then I read that story and it really scared me. So the story goes, and I'm paraphrasing, I can't find it anymore. There was I followed a baker, and then someone had posted on her page saying that she was going to take a break from baking because there was an incident that happened. The incident was that somebody was supposed to come pick up an order from her. So apparently that person posed as a customer, paid her, you know, up front and all of that. And as the person was coming to pick up the order from her, she was at her front door. They pushed her in, and trigger warning, if you want to click away from, fast forward from this part, you can, held her at gunpoint and raped her. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to equip you with the knowledge that yes, people are out there, you know, that are just evil people, and you need to be careful, and you can't just conduct your business nonchalantly. The first thing that I see people doing that I don't personally do, and that might be a controversial one, so don't come at me in the comments for that, is disclosing the town where you live. Here's what I mean by that. You don't necessarily have to say that you live in Manhattan. You can say that you serve the New York metropolitan area, you know, or put a few towns around. Yes, you're still kind of disclosing your location, but it's not narrowing it down and pinpointing, you know, exactly the town where you live. So for example, on my website, my social media and whatnot, I just put that I live in, or I serve, Orange County, New York. That includes so many towns. So in order for someone to track me personally down, they'd have to go down a list of a couple of towns, right? And everything is about a half an hour away. So with that being said, you are telling people the region where you live, but you're not giving them your actual physical location. Does that make sense? Now, I know you're gonna say, okay, so if you don't disclose that, once they place the order, how are they gonna know where to come pick it up? This is where you can now tell them the town where you're gonna live, because you're gonna give them an address to come pick it up, right? So you're gonna then tell them, after they've placed their order, where they're gonna come pick up the cake. With that being said, yes, there are still some crazy people out there who will go through the trouble of placing the order just to get to you, as we saw with the story that I just told you. However, you've at least eliminated a good 50 to 70% of the random Joe Schmoes who might, you know, have ulterior motives. Another thing I want to say is to always meet people close by, but not at your physical home. What I mean by that is not driving half an hour out of your way, you know, meeting them halfway. That's still delivering, and we're going to talk about that in a second. What you can do is pick a place that is close enough that you're not making a far drive. Like a 2 to 3 minute drive is not a big deal, but also not in your physical home. If you live like in an apartment building, maybe you can meet them like at the entrance of the whole, you know, complex, like whatever the case may be. Just as long as they don't know what your front porch looks like, you're good to go. I personally like to go to a park that's near my house because there's a police station right across from it, and you know, there are cameras and whatnot. If you don't have access to that, you can also go to like a plaza plaza. I know a lot of plazas, they have cameras, there's people coming in and out, there are different stores and whatnot, so you know you're a little bit safe because somebody is gonna see something, if that makes sense. I know that's easier said than done when you don't have just one, you know, big cake that you're making. Maybe you have a couple of different orders during the week. Maybe you don't make cakes, maybe you make desserts. It's like, really, Janie, like, I'm not gonna drive, you know, even if it's 2 minutes away for every single cake pop order I get it. Then maybe what I would recommend is to have different days that you do pick up, right? So you tell your clients that you can pick up on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Sunday, right? These are my pickup times, and you can come on Monday between this time and that time, on Tuesday or on Wednesday between this time and that time, and on Sunday between this time and that time. What you do is you grab all of your orders that are going to be picked up on that Monday, for example, and it's like a half an hour window. You know, you tell them between 1:30 and 2 p.m. they can come pick it up, or whatever time works for you. Try not to make it in the middle of the night. Try to have the sun out when you're doing that. So you drive to your location with all of your orders. Let's just say a couple of people ordered, and all of them are gonna have to come pick it up at that time, and that's just that. You don't, again, want people in and out of your house. That's just not safe. Now, with everything that I just said, I know a few of you are gonna say, you know what, I don't care. I still want people to come to my house. I don't have time, you know, to meet people halfway. Okay, or not halfway, to meet people at a location. Okay, fine. That's all right. What you can do is make sure that you are on the phone when they pick up, even if you're not. Just grab the phone and be like, oh, just 1 second, somebody came to pick up their cake. Even if you're not, just, you know, within earshot of them, so they think that someone is on the phone with you and someone is gonna know if you don't come back on the phone. That way, it just kind of scares them off if they had any intentions of doing anything. So I know these might have been very self-explanatory for some of you, but some of you may not have known them. So that's why I really wanted to take the time to share them with you. And hopefully if I save one person from potential disaster, then this video has done its job. So now that we have all of our safety measures in place when people are picking up from you, now let's talk about delivery, because that is a big question that I find people have. They don't know how to properly charge for delivery. Should they charge? Is there a threshold that you use? What cakes do you deliver and what cakes do you not deliver, etc., etc. So we're gonna talk about all of that good stuff in just 1 second. I just want to get this out of the way. We spoke about this in the safety tips. Do you meet people halfway? A lot of people will say, oh, I live pretty far from you, can you meet me halfway? That is not a pickup, that is a delivery. You're delivering it halfway, okay? So charge for the halfway. I don't deliver every single cake, and I have a story behind why I don't. I was driving to deliver a cake that cost $40. No cake should ever cost $40. Let's just start with that. But back then I didn't know how to price my cakes. So the cake cost $40, okay? I was driving to deliver it and I got into a car accident. Guess how much I ended up having to pay to fix my car? $500. That was my deductible, okay? So for that $40 cake, oh, and by the way, after I called them and told them I got into an accident, they still wanted their cakes delivered to them. So with all that being said, I ended up paying $500 to get my car fixed. Now, it was not worth it. It was definitely a learning experience, and from that point, I decided that my threshold would be $500. Now, let's talk about how much do I charge. I typically only deliver about an hour away from where I live. I used to do 2 hours, but now it's just not. So the way that I charge is for the first 20 miles, okay, it is 50 cents per mile. And then after that, it is $1 a mile, okay? So you can do the math. If somebody wanted me to deliver something, you know, 30 miles away, so that would be $10, because 50 cents for the first 20 miles, and then an extra $10 for the rest of it. Okay, so as I was editing this, I realized that I made a mistake in the calculation. So I do charge a base fee of $50. So wherever you want me to deliver it, it's going to cost you $50 upfront. That's just for me to put gas in my car, to get my behind out of bed and put on, you know, nice clean clothes on to come deliver it to you. So it's a $50 flat fee. And then I add on however many miles it is. So for that example that I just talked about, it was 30 miles. So it would be $50 plus $10 for the first 20 miles and another $10 for the last 10 miles. So it would be a total of $70. I just wanted to make that clear. Now, the number one tip when delivering a cake is to be on time. You guys, I am notorious for being late to everything. I'm never on time for anything, but you best believe if I'm delivering a cake, I'm gonna be early. I cannot stress this enough. Like, your customers are never going to forgive you if you're 1 minute late. Trust me. They can be as late as they want when they're picking up and it's fine. However, you make that mistake and you're late one time, you'll never hear the end of it. So please, please, please try your best to be on time. If the delivery is at 2 o'clock, be there at 1:30. Just block out the 2 o'clock out of your head and just pretend that the cake was due at 1:30. When you're delivering, make sure that your car is clean, guys. This might be very, you know, self-explanatory to a couple people, but trust me, you don't want to have your kids, you know, soccer ball, you know, bottles on the floor, juice all over the carpet. Like, you really want to make sure that your car is clean, or if they are picking up from your house, that your entryway or wherever you're, you know, setting up for them to pick up is clean, because that really sets the tone for whether or not they want to repeat ordering from you. Imagine somebody came to deliver pizza to you, right? And their car was like a toxic waste dump. You would probably never order pizza from there again. Even if where they prepared it was super clean and super sanitized and all that stuff, if how they're delivering it to you is nasty, you're probably not going to repeat, you know, the order from them. So the other thing is that you look presentable. Do not be wearing your pajamas. Do not just roll out of bed and hand them your cake. Like, just do not do that, okay? You want to make sure that you're presentable. I'm not talking about pulling out your Sunday's best, but maybe a pair of leggings, because I live in leggings, and, you know, a sweatshirt or, you know, a t-shirt. Put your hair up in a bun, you know, wash your face and brush your teeth, and then go ahead and deliver the cake, because you are a representation of your business. All right, you guys, that video was pretty long-winded, but I hope you got a lot of valuable information. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope, again, if anything, the safety tips that I shared with you guys was helpful to at least one person, because I cannot stress it enough how important it is to be safe if you're having people pick up cakes from you, and also that the delivery tips were also helpful for you guys if you're considering delivering, you didn't know how much to charge or what your threshold should be. So with all that being said, you guys, this is the end of this week's video. I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up if you found it helpful and informative. Share it with your friends and family. Also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, you guys. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.